our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say, and deep government state wanna get up in our face. But hasn't done it yet, cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will.
Wow. Hey, Randy.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
Yep. It don't want me to do nothing this morning. So it's just me and you, kid. What's going on? Welcome to the lab, everybody. It's been a minute. At least it has been for me. What you been up to, Randy, the genealogist Rose? Have you helped anybody track down any long lost family members lately?
Oh my God, yeah. Let me turn your volume up. You're talking very, very, very quiet. Let me turn my volume up. Yeah. Um, uh, I mean, first off, I have a really good friend, and I'm not sure if he wants me to use his name or not, so I won't. Um, but a really good friend. In fact, William, you're familiar with him. I call him my computer guru, and he's done a lot for me. Uh, he had a whole bunch of extra pieces and parts of computers that he was putting together himself. So he sold them to me at a very yard sale cheap prices. So I got this high definition camera now, which is absolutely wow, blows my mind. I keep saying I gotta put makeup on that 'cause I look so ugly, so old with this high definition camera. In fact, it's even more so. Right now, the set is only for 720. If I put it to actual 1080 high definition, which I can't without paying, like $45 for StreamYard and $25 for Restream, uh, the imagery is blowing out kind of. I got that, and I got a really neat light up keyboard because there's all kinds of neat lights and streams and stuff like that, and a mouse that I still haven't been able to figure out what the hell to do with it. And it almost looks like it has a telephone dial on the side of it like this. It has all these buttons with numbers on it. So I got no idea what to do with that. But other than that, improvements on all the updates, all the upgrades that are free that no one knows about, helps with the graphics and helps with the sound and so forth. So I got all that going for me. And then I did go through about a month and a half almost of people who were having difficulties, continuing their services with me. And I won't go into any details on that. I think you might get the idea. And
Right.
I was actually at a point where I was thinking, God, because what I do is not cheap. I have this I have this computer which is like one payment away from being paid off, and I have these two 32-inch monitors which I absolutely need. People ask, why do you need, such big screens? Well, when you think about it, they're really not that big. They're a nice size, but they're not
Right.
as big as some people have. But I use them because when I do my work, I have like before I came on with you, I had 6 windows open. Because I'm doing different things, and a lot of my clients are related to the other clients. Um, and it all goes back to the point that when our ancestors first came here, they only came in ships of 200 and 300 each. And when they're
Right.
there, and the ones who actually survived the whole, the 6 months it took to get here by ship, and then to survive, building shelter and food and fighting off the natives and so forth, it boils down to a very, very small DNA pool. And
Right.
so a lot of us are related to each other if you just take the time to look for it. Um, so uh, 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 I've been doing that. So what happened was, these people having to have their own expenses, and I understand that. So I was thinking, here I am with the cost of the computer, the monitors, the internet, the services that I use, I wasn't going to be able to make the bills,
Right.
and I was actually like, damn, am I going to have to shut down what I do and what I love so much? And then I guess God's not done with me yet, because next thing you know is these folks, came back and they, caught up to date with their fees and so forth, and I actually added 2 new people. So I'm back to where I almost wanted to be. I do have room for one more person to do the
Okay.
research, but
Okay.
when we look at uh, what's going on in the world, with all the conflict, you know, um, we have ancestors who go back to those countries. If you
Right.
look for it, we actually have family living in these various countries that are at war, trying to survive. And who knows, we may be losing members of our distant family due to the war in Ukraine or Russia or Israel or other countries. And to know that you might have family members in those countries and not know who they are, and then to lose them, to me is a terrible loss. We need to all come together and say enough is enough. And I'm hoping that President Trump, with his early meetings with Putin and Zelensky, is able to uh, keep one of his promises, which is to bring peace to those countries.
You're right.
With the United States and England. Well, England gave Ukraine these phenomenal missiles that have great distance capability, but they can't fly them. And I get this. So England builds these missiles that are can travel thousands of miles in a short period of time, but they don't work without the American technology directing them to their target. So they have to work with the American stuff.
Right.
So Zelensky needed the permission of England as well as the United States to make use of these new missiles to attack inside of Russia, which we did. So Russia responded back with a intercontinental ballistic missile, which normally would carry a nuclear warhead, but this time it did not. He was proven to the world that enough is enough. I will hit this country with a nuclear warhead if you guys don't knock it the hell off.
Well,
And
Biden, he I don't know what Biden's agenda is going out the door. I don't know if he's intentionally trying to create some havoc. I don't even know if he's the one that's calling the shots for things like this. He ain't been calling the shots in a minute. But what we're going to talk about today is uh it's been a minute since last time I've been on here. Um I think the last time I've been on here, Donald Trump was not president elect. Um, I'm not on here to gloat. I'm not on here to say I told you so. But what I will say is what I've been saying from the beginning. This country will always go in the direction the American people take it. See, it wasn't MAGA that got Donald Trump the presidency. No, it wasn't just Republicans that got Donald Trump the presidency. Oh no, it was America in full force. Without a shadow of a doubt, Trump, he loves to do things huge, and if he can say that this was a landslide being huge, I would have to concur. Um, what do you think of the outcome and how everything went down with the election, Randy?
well, I'm going to disagree with you and agree with you. So this is going to be kind of weird. Um, you said that it was the American people who uh, put Trump where Trump is. I, I agree, and I wanted to add to that. Um, we are a Christian nation. We were created by Christian men who went into prayer to create what we now have and the documentation of how we were going to follow certain laws. One of them is to give honor to our God and for prayer and so forth. But we also know that throughout history, especially with dealings with Israel, because Israel was God's chosen people. And
Right.
we know through reading our Bibles that as long as Israel followed God's rules, God blessed them. He gave them land, He gave them wealth, He gave them food, He gave them power. But then He also said, if you turn against me, I will turn my face to thee, and I will give you unto your enemy.
Right.
And that's what He did, because Israel at one point started worshiping idols and not following God's laws. And God said, "Yep, time to smack you." And they went into enslavement for hundreds and hundreds of years. They found out they did wrong. They got down on their knees. They prayed to God, asked for forgiveness, and God brought them out of enslavement and made them a powerful nation again. And that's what I think is happening here with the United States, because we were established as a Christian nation. And as long as we do God's will, God will continue to bless us.
Right.
And we had a period of time where we weren't doing God's will. And I'm going to go into all the specifics as to what we did wrong, but I think the folks watching will have an idea what I'm talking about.
Well, we know
And
we know what we did. We know
right.
what we did wrong.
And God took away Trump and gave us Biden, and we realized our mistake, and the churches went and they supported Trump. They prayed over Trump. The people prayed over Trump,
Okay.
and God heard our prayers and gave us back Trump for another 4 years. So I think between God and the people realizing their mistake, that is why Trump is back where he belongs.
Well, let's we know it's not going to be fixed in the next 4 years. Let's just continue to pray for this nation that it continues to be led in a path of um greatness. And
I'm going to share out this broadcast.
yeah,
Give me.
let's make sure that, like and like you said, we finally stood up to the immorality that has been overrunning our society for decades, um, with this, the mutilation of our children, um, from boys being girls and this and that, things that just go against God's word, things that go against the biblical principles. Um, and I think it took America to finally say, enough is enough, because if we didn't stand up to this immorality, Lord help us. We don't. I don't know where this country would be. But thank God we don't have to worry about that, because God is great. And I knew without a shadow of a doubt my guy Donald Trump would sustain all of the vitriol and withstand all of the assaults brought against him, and come out victorious. But now it's not just Donald Trump. Now it is, um, some call them the Avengers, some call them the new breed of the establishment, the young guns, should I say. Some old, not too old. But it's going to be very interesting when all of this goes down.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we got people in place now that are really going to make sure that things get done.
There's,
Um,
there's going to be a lot of shaking up. There's going to be a lot of people going to lose their jobs, and rightfully so. Um, I mean, look at what Elon Musk did when he bought up Twitter. He got rid of thousands of people because their jobs weren't required to make the company profitable or to do what it was designed to do. So he got rid of thousands of people, and the company is stronger for it. It
that's right.
saved. So he's going to do the exact same thing to his government agencies. He's going to weed out all the jobs that are not required to make it a productive organization.
Well,
And he's
I'm gonna take you down a list, and I want you to give me the feedback. First, if they're qualified, and what type of job you think they're gonna do, and if they do the job they're supposed to do, what the outcome is gonna be. We're gonna start with none other than the real official border czar designated, uh, Tom Holman. Um, Used to be designated the leader of ICE, director of ICE. Um, and from what Tom is talking about, Tom is just talking straight Constitution. Tom is talking uh, straight black and white, no gray areas. Uh, it was said to Tom, well, do you plan on separating families? What are you going to do about that? Tom said, well, the whole damn family can go if it comes down to that. I love a man that talks like that. What do you think about Tom Holman?
I love him. I think he's a strong man. He's long overdue for the job of the southern border. Um, I think right now people should be shaking in their boots. Actually, what they should be doing right now is packing their damn bags and getting out ahead of the game. Because it's like I mentioned on another broadcast. You have these illegals who are in this country and they're getting various government benefits and by now they probably have a home or a car or some homemade business or something that they got through the resources of the American government, but they're here illegally. So that makes everything they own illegal. So if they were smart, I would say sell off everything I own, put it into onto a card, or send it back home to great grandma, so it's safe for me. And that way, when you get booted out, you're not going out penniless. Otherwise, I think they're going to come in and they're going to rip you out of your homes and out of your businesses. This is going to sound weird, and I apologize ahead of time. Many years ago, when I saw how England was going with the Muslims coming in and taking over parts of English towns to a point
Right.
to where the British themselves, these police, even the military were afraid to go into these various towns because of the stronghold the Muslims had. But I had dreams. This is God honest, right hand up to God. I had dreams of taking over the government of England and going in there with the military and ripping these people out of their homes, putting them on a bus, and sending them back home. And here we have a man, Holman. Now, I don't know if he's going to rip them out of their homes or out of their businesses, but he's going to get them and he's going to put them on buses to the airport, and from the airport onto a plane, back home where they belong, and let them
That's
come
right.
back legally. I got no
Eh,
problem with these people coming to our country, but do it legally.
That's right. That's right. Well, Matt Gates, they were scared as hell as him, but he gracefully bowed out. He didn't want to become a distraction for Trump, and but I think DeSantis has ideas for him in the Senate down there in Florida. But I think that they wasn't aware that Matt Gates would have probably been the lesser of the hostile people towards them. So now they got to deal with my blonde girl Pam Bondi. And for anybody that don't know, my weather's kind
Mhm.
of bad, so I'm not showing no video clips today. But Pam Bondi um is a true patriot. She is a firecracker. Do you know anything about Pam Bondi?
I
And what do you
don't.
think about her
I have no idea
for
who she
Attorney
is.
General?
I have no idea who she is.
Okay. And there's a reason they don't want my videos to show up today. I planned on showing each and every one of these people in their rare form, but we'll get a chance to see her once my snow gets out of here and stuff, and I'll bring her up on video. But what do you think about Marco Rubio for Secretary of State?
Yeah, I like Rubio. I do. In fact, I think he would have made a good president if Trump couldn't get in there. But Mark Rubio, he's a firebrand. I liked when reporter stopped him mid stride in the hallways, and he said, "Is this being filmed? Is this being filmed? It is good. I want your people to know this." Yeah, I love the guy, and I think he's going to be very strong for what Trump has in mind for him. I really do. I like
Well, they're
him.
definitely not afraid to voice their opinions.
Correct,
And
and
that's
it
what I
should
love.
be. I mean,
That's what I love about
the
it.
past 4 years, the Republicans were keeping their damn mouths shut. Now we got some people being chosen to open their mouths and start acting on them. So I'm glad to see this.
Well, good deal. Good deal. Let's go to a list jumper. Formerly a Democrat, now she is a Republican. She has embraced the Republican Party, but she's being tapped for the Director of National Intelligence. She's still serving currently in the reserves, I believe, as Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Armed Forces. None other than Tulsi Gabbard. That's my girl. I love the little silver streak she has in her hair. I don't. My wife asked me. She said, "Is that original or did she get that done?" I said, "I don't know. Either way, it looks good." What do you think about old Tulsi Gabbard?
I don't know enough about her, but I will say this: the fact that you said that she holds the rank of lieutenant colonel in the military tells me that she knows what it means to keep secrets and follow rules and to respond to your commander in chief. Um, I don't know too much about background, but the fact that she jumped from Democrat to Republican, that could be either a good thing or a bad thing because she saw the writing on the wall. She sees the people who want Republicans in. Hopefully, she made the jump because she sees that the Republicans hold the same values that she herself holds for herself, and that she wasn't seeing it with the Democrat Party. So I'm going to be a wait and see on her as far as what kind of job she does for the Intelligence Bureau.
Okay, that's smart. That's smart. I just love the youth. I love the youth. I love that the old guard is being replaced with youth. And we're gonna stick around and we're gonna stay with our military veterans who have been picked to serve in 47's cabinet. My man, Fox and Friends host, none other than Pete Hegseth.
Love him. Love
Pete,
him.
Secretary of Defense, Iraq War veteran. Man, you know, the hits just keep on coming, brother. The hits just keep on coming. What do you think about OP?
Oh, I love him. I loved him. I loved him when he was on Fox News. I followed him. I followed him there. He is a firebrand for the Republican Party, for the conservatives, for the Christians. He's the guy. Now, is he the guy that has that cross on him?
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And when he was asked about it, he put him straight. It was sad to know that because of it, he wasn't recalled to command because of the issue. But
I didn't know that.
yeah, I guess the military is going back into action, and he needs to be recalled because he still had reserved status to respond to, and they didn't call him back because of it, which makes no sense when you got the assholes who are dressed like girls in uniform and they're still actively involved. But I like him. I think he's going to be strong. I like the fact that he's again military. Again, it shows resilience. It shows strength. It shows that his love for the country, that he's still active with the military. Um, and like I said, when he was on Fox News, I liked what I saw. He's a good guy.
Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. And now somebody you had touched on earlier. Um, they are actually going to be a dynamic duo. They're going to tag team this one. And I like the two minds that have been put together for this. One is a brilliant mind, a genius, and the other one is just an intellectual person that knows how to articulate things down to the very basic foundation of whatever it is that he's dealing with. And these are none other than Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. What do you think about the super team? And Department of Government Efficiency. I like that word, efficiency. That means if we don't need it, it gotta go.
Yeah. First off, I love Elon Musk. I've been following him on various browsers, his whole history, his whole story, and uh, there's a lot of sadness to his upbringing. He was, believe it or not, at one point he was poverty stricken, and he came out from that. He was ostracized as a child from in school because of he has a unique brain, and he gave it a name, and I can't think of what it was, but he has a brain that, in his words, was is just like exploding with ideas. And it's like exploding with things to do, things to build, and so forth. And people thought that he was actually sick, but he put all these ideas into play and produced all these various different companies that made him the wealthy man that he is today. And uh, uh, I've seen videos, and I assume that they are real and not, artificial intelligence to where you can't tell the difference anymore. But I've seen him in interviews where he talks about UFOs and spaceships and aliens and things like that, and he believes. He mentions about various cities that are buried beneath the Antarctic that he is aware of and has seen. Um, so I think, to be honest with you, I would love to see him given the rank of admiral or something and put in charge of space force, because with his SpaceX and his desire to get to Mars, and he's not that damn far away from producing the ship that's going to do it. Just imagine what he could do with an army behind him to build cities on another planet and actually build like a Star Trek Space Command, right?
Right.
A Federation of Planets kind of thing. But he is phenomenal. And he's going to do great things for the government. The other guy, I know he's wealthy. I don't know too much about him. So I don't feel comfortable talking about someone I don't know. So I really can't, address him.
Yeah, go do your homework on Vivek. Vivek is a pretty cool fella. I like Vivek. Um, yeah. Some of the things I try to figure out how he's actually going to get it accomplished. But, like Trump, when you got a good vision, until you show me otherwise, I kind of put my trust in what you want to accomplish. And we're going to go there when we're done with the list. We're going to get into the experience factor. A lot of people are talking about experience. And I'm wondering, is it more experience or just more about common sense? But we're going to get into that. CIA
Yeah.
director.
No, hold on a second. You mentioned about common sense. I don't think common sense really comes into play with any of these positions. I think 'cause these are positions that these people weren't even thinking about getting involved with. So it's going to be a learning curve for them. But
Yeah,
it's
learning, but it's
yeah,
gonna take common sense. I mean,
right, but
if you're
it's how
if
they
you're
go. It's how they're going to embrace the position and do the right job. I mean, you got. I mean, look at the past 4 years, and you see what what that they brought to the table.
they didn't bring no common sense.
Correct.
They brought an agenda that was nothing of stupidity. These people are tapped for the first time in these. It's like working. Me, because I personally just went back to work. God is great. It's like learning how to flip burgers.
Mm.
Um, you might not have flipped them before, but one thing you know not to do is burn them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's common sense. It's common sense. Um, when you put somebody of any of these people in their position, the choices that they have to make have to be choices of common sense. When they're going to be surrounded with other minions under them who hopefully um, are on their team 100, they're going to have to be able to decipher all of the information that's given to them on certain situations and make common sense decisions, rational decisions. Um, and that's why I believe they're going to succeed. Um, Tom Holman, he's never been a border czar, but common sense tells him to secure that damn border by hook or by crook, whether it's putting up a wall, whether it's putting more field agents down on the border, whatever it is. Um, so Ratcliffe has you got to watch John Ratcliffe because he's always been one of those individuals that pushed the envelope and has been fiercely fighting against the establishment. Um, it's gonna be good. And then we got Christy No, um, Department Secretary, DHS Secretary, and don't know too much about her. I think she's the governor, Montana, Idaho, one of them mugs.
What's her name?
Christy Nome, Christy Nome.
Yeah, that's a new name for me as well.
Okay, okay. Um, Elise Stefanik. Now, she gives people a tongue lashing, and she has now been tapped to be UN ambassador. That's the job that old Nikki Haley used to hold, but guess who ain't got a job in Trump's cabinet? Oh, Nikki Haley.
Mm.
Trump don't forget the people that turned on him. I don't care how long ago it was. And Nikki, when you ran against him and you thought that you was going to slither your way into there, now you find yourself outside the fence, watching everybody else play, and you just gotta stand there on the sidelines. Um, Susie Wells, chief of staff, all the way back from the Reagan era, behind the scenes. She's the person that led Trump not once but twice to his presidential victories. And now she's his chief of staff. What do you think about her?
Again, I don't know too much about her.
Okay. Um, Me neither. What I like to probably hold on to is that she has a Reagan-esque mindset, and hopefully she will implement that. And then we have, last but not least, right now on the list that has been tapped for the Israeli ambassador
Mm.
leadership,
Yeah.
Governor Mike Huckabee.
Yeah.
Could there ever have been a better
Yeah.
choice for
Perfect
that?
match. Perfect match. I mean, even before the nomination, he did so much for Israel. He has all these videos, these biblical videos that he did. He did like a tour of various areas in Israel where Jesus walked and so forth, and other named people in the Bible, and he met with other people who like a little tribunal of people on the mountaintop, and they're talking about, God and His Son and the biblical things. So he was very much supportive of Israel and all that it represents. And his daughter, a very strong woman, who's governor, and they're both perfectly matched for what they're doing, and their love for the people speaks for itself. So the fact that Trump moved the embassy to where he did, and now he has him as being the ambassador, perfect choices.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. I'm trying to. All right. I have with me today, and it's been a minute since we've been together. My partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Randy the genealogist. Rose, y'all make sure y'all go over there and follow him. All roads lead to. Oh shit! See, he's been that long. All roads lead to Randy House, especially at Christmas.
All roads lead to home genealogy.
Okay, all roads lead to road. All roads lead to home and genealogy. All right, we're going to move into our next topic, and as you can see on the screen, it's called kissing the ring. So it looks like everybody all of a sudden wants to make nice with the Don. So, as we now know, MSNBC show Morning Joe and Mika Brzezinski had to personally make a trip to Mar-a-Lago to talk to the man that for years they've been calling Hitler, they've been calling a threat to democracy. This is the man that Mika couldn't stop running her hands through his hair. And yet, they find themselves kissing the ring, testing the waters, trying to make nice, make sure everything is okay, make sure they're not on the chopping block, they're not on the hit list. But the Don never forgets, even though they try. Hamas, they want and you touched on this earlier with Rubio, they want a ceasefire. They don't want no more smoke. And what did Rubio say? I think Rubio said, hell no. No ceasefire. We're going to let them annihilate your ass as we assist them in doing this. Everybody wants to play nice. You know who's happy? You know, I know this is happy. Joe Biden has to be the happiest Democrat walking around right now for some reason. Why is Joe so damn happy?
Mad. I mean, all the things I've seen of him thus far is these damn big ass smiles. Now, again, folks, we have to be very careful with what we're watching on the various browsers, because the shit they can do with computers nowadays, recreating people and even their voice it's phenomenal. But there is talk that Biden wants to try and get us involved, boots on the ground in Ukraine, right before he hands over the country to Trump, because Trump is making these boasts that he's going to bring peace to the world when he takes over. And I don't think the people on the left want that to happen. I think they want us to stay at war for whatever stupid ass reason, other than money making. But with the use of these newer missiles, and Biden allowing Zelensky to take the chains off of these missiles that can now reach into the far depths of Russia, it's going to drive us into an actual war, because Putin can. if he had to go into a court situation and fight his cause, he can say that he is not just fighting Ukraine, he's fighting the English and the Americans because we're giving Ukraine these weapons and they're using our weapon systems to direct these missiles to attack locations that were up until now secret. So he could say, legally that we as Americans, our government is at war with Russia, and thus we should become targets of
Look,
his missiles.
nobody,
And I don't want it, but that's the argument.
nobody wants war. Okay, and I hate to say it, but I've been right more times than I've been wrong. Vladimir Putin has a relationship with Trump. All of these dictators, whatever you want to call them, they all have a relationship with the Don. The last thing they want to do is have the Don annihilate them either financially, physically, or whatever it is. They know and understand that any war that they pop off into is temporary. And then there's consequences and repercussions. I believe that when, like you said, Zelensky could have put a nuclear warhead on the missile that he flew, but it was to show them, I believe, that I can touch you. Yeah, I don't believe with these people knowing the type of man that Trump is, they want Trump coming into a war-like situation because they know and understand that he's not the type of person that's just going to sit by and try to strategically end this. He's going to abruptly end this. And with that comes a lot. This man is known for sending pictures of people houses to them. So I don't know. I don't know.
I also know that President Trump has said that he wants to keep the United States out of any wars. This is me. If I was in charge, okay, and so far the conversations I had with Zelensky and with Putin hasn't brought either side to the table to actually talk peace. And with the current administration that's trying to make a name for itself as it goes out, and I come into the White House to greenlight these phenomenal weapon systems that can do great harm to the Russian people, and Putin being allowed to respond in like emotion, he could, and it wouldn't take many, one or two, maybe three nuclear strikes into Ukraine. And if it was me, I said, you know what? There is no way in hell I'm going to step into this mess because that means that I got to use my nukes to put down his nukes. And there's no way in hell I'm going to drive my people, my nation into a nuclear exchange. Let them have it. Let them finish it off and pick up the pieces that are left over. There won't be many after nuclear strikes. I wouldn't get involved. So if Putin does hit Ukraine with a nuke or two, I'm stepping back. Let them duke it out. I'm not going to affect my country in a nuclear exchange. That's me. What do you think?
Well, unfortunately, America's in situations where it has to be a leader. And when you have people in positions that know how to be leaders, that's when we're able to keep the world peace. People need to really know and understand that we are the peacekeepers of this planet that God left us. We are the true last superpower on the face of this earth when used the right way. Nobody wants confrontation with America. whether it be through economics or whether it be through, like I said, physical. Um, there's a reason everything happens. There's a reason Trump had a meeting with Putin. There's a reason Trump had a meeting with Zelensky. I don't know if this is to keep getting money, or whatever it is. But what I do know is, I can almost assure you, when they left out of those meetings with Trump, the final thing was no war. We can't have it. So they can keep playing tit for tat, trying to jockey for position before Trump gets back. Because I believe that's what they're doing. I believe that's what they're doing. But a lot of people need to understand why Putin's doing what he's doing, and a lot of people need to understand who's representing Zelensky in Ukraine to prevent Putin from doing what he's doing. Moving on to our last topic. I didn't put a banner up for this, so let me see if I can do that. What about our friends? So, it is coming to the attention, and I'm sure everybody already knows that Miss Kamala Harris raised $1 billion and is now $20 million in debt. How that happens, I don't know. But what I do know for sure is she forked out a lot of dough to celebrities to endorse her. So none of them really liked her. You know, when you like somebody, and this is my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but when you believe in somebody and you really like somebody and you support somebody, the last thing that individual should have to do is pay you to come and speak on their behalf and represent them. They should be proud to be able to come out and say, "Hey, I support such a strong person." But I understand what it's like not to pass down the bag, pass up the bag. Oprah Winfrey. Now, Oprah, she says she didn't get the $1 million. Her production company got the $1 million. But who owns the production company? Oprah. So now we know and understand that that whole facade that Oprah put on, she had Chris Rock, she had J-Lo, she broke them off a piece of the change for them to show up. Kamala Harris has no friends. Kamala Harris has no allies. And now we know that it was all a show. And not a good show. I mean, who she had to pay Beyonce, she had to pay Megan Thee Stallion, she had to pay Eminem, she had to pay Oprah.
Didn't she also have to pay the lady who just left the country and went to live in England, Daenerys?
Who?
Daenerys, the lesbian lady that was on TV when she lost her show, and she just left the United States to live in England because Trump is president.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't hear that one. I got
yes.
She's a nurse and she left the country because Trump became president.
No, not a nurse. Daenerys.
Oh, Robert De Niro?
No. The lesbian lady that had her own TV show.
Oh, you talking about Ellen?
Yes.
Oh, Ellen DeGeneres.
Thank you. Yes.
Ellen left the country?
Yep, she sold her home and she bought a place in England. Her and her wife.
Wow. Oprah, you better get out the country, girl. Where you gonna go, Oprah? You good for putting up schools in Africa? Maybe she might go put up a condo down there. Who knows? They coming after him though. But I appreciate you coming on here with me today, Randy.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
It's not too much. Not too much to talk about right now. I mean, everything is quiet. He's got his cabinet fixed. We've done our job. We crossed the finish line.
I don't know if you took notice to the post I made just before we came on. It was showing the final. At this point, I guess it's the final results of the election as to where we all stand. See, do we have the obviously the president was 312 to 226, Kamala. We have the House as 219 to 213 for us. The Senate was 53 to 47. And governors, we actually picked up some governorships. So we have 27 governors opposed to 23. So you can call it almost a clean sweep across our nation. And they finally called up for Pennsylvania. Casey actually stepped down, admitted defeat. So that was good. So at least for the next 4 years, we should be able to put forth whatever, Trump wants to put forth. I mean,
Yes,
there'll still be a few states who are going to fight him tooth and nail. They're already putting into place, telling their police force that if ICE comes for these people, that you're not supposed to support them. It makes me wonder why these governors would want to keep these illegals in their states when they're causing so much conflict as far as the crime rate,
because they're stupid, but they can want what they want in one hand and shit in the other. You're gonna get what you're gonna get, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
like Tom Homan said, they're coming to get their ass. Article 8 of whatever section of whatever section. So Tom ain't playing. So y'all, I want all you sanctuary cities to try and buck up. He already said what he gonna do with y'all. Y'all go ahead and break the law. We got law enforcers in the building, in case y'all haven't noticed. And I like to call them the new breed of government.
Yeah.
Or the Avengers. Whatever meme you want. But Randy Rose, go ahead. I'm going to give you the last word, brother, and we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of this day and go outside and see if any more snow is falling.
I'm all for advancements in science and so forth. And like I said, I've been following Elon Musk. I mean, he's got a lot of neat shit coming out. And one of the things that he is doing that actually scares the living shit out of me is he has these robots that he's actually making on a large scale. And the design, obviously, is to help humans, okay? By doing housework, lawn work, groceries, driving, taking care of the kids. I mean, I saw some of his robots were actually walking the little toddler and so forth. But he also, I saw some of these other companies making these robots, and they're doing them for a different purpose, and that is from a military standpoint, have them fighting and shooting guns and so forth. But what scares me is that Elon Musk says that he sees before long over 1 billion of his robots across the world. That is almost as much as that more than humans. All I can imagine is my nightmare coming true of the sci-fi movies where the robots took control and stopped taking the orders from the humans.
I don't know. That's a little too deep for me. So
yeah, it's a little bit too deep.
But we'll end it on that.
But check out his videos. You'll enlighten yourself on his robots. They're scary. But yeah, other than that,
well, he's into that. He's into that shit. I would just like to think just for jobs. But you know, I
Yeah.
watch RoboCop. I know where technology can take us, and hey, I always say this: we're not going to stop technology. I
No.
just want to make sure that technology stays in the right hands of the right people that'll do good with it.
Yeah. And
Um,
hopefully, yeah, that's the other thing. Hopefully, it doesn't get changed in someone else's hands. She doesn't want the good for the people. But anyways, it was great being here. I got some things I need to get done working for my clients, and it's snowing again here.
yes,
Uh,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Thank you
so
very much for tuning
winter's
in with
coming.
me, Randy.
Hey, not a problem, guys. I shared it out to 14 groups. None of them kicked it back, so I guess you're live in my 14 groups at least.
Good deal.
See, so you take care. See ya.
All right, brother. All right, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to a great Friday edition of Morning Coffee. I want to thank once again Randy the Genealogist Rose for taking his time out and coming into the broadcast. So, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, this is your dude from the lab. I'm out. Enjoy the day. It's snowing. Peace.